What's going on, everyone? It's time for another comedy film review. So, today we're going to be talking about a spoof film called Airplane. It was released by Paramount Pictures uh, July 2nd, 1980. And it was produced by John Davis and written and directed by Jim Abrams, who also did Hot Shots, and Hot Shots Part Deuce, Top Secret, The Naked Gun, Ruthless People, and it's co-written and co-directed by David Zucker and Jerry Zucker, which is the only film they pretty much helped to direct and stuff. And it had a box office earnings of about $171 million. So yeah, Airplane. Airplane is a spoof comedy on disaster films and like make airport sort of like the airport. It makes pokes fun at that and a lot of like silly stuff like that, but it has a serious tone in the story. So yeah, so there's a lot of slapstick comedy in this and a lot of good stuff. So basically there's a disease, a sick illness that's going around, undercooked chicken going around on the plane. And there's this one doctor played by Leslie Nielsen, and he's trying to help the patients out while the plane is in the middle of chaos. The co-pilot gets sick, and the other pilot is trying to figure out what's going on as well. And basically everything's going awry, and crazy things start happening. And obviously it doesn't do it the most conventional way because this is a slapstick comedy. So yeah, and there's joke after joke after joke. But anyways, there's there's an illness in the plane. It must be and then they have problems because the sick pilots get sick, and so a military pilot with post-traumatic stress has to land the plane. And he has terrible flashbacks to his bad flying habits and stuff, and it's all on him. And he's only on the plane because he wants to get back with his like ex-girlfriend or wife or whatever, and she's the stewardess of the plane. And so from them boarding the plane to landing it at the end, there's just non-stop laughs throughout. This is really funny. Some of the jokes probably won't stick these days because a lot of people probably won't know some of the references, but for the most part it is still quite the entertaining comedy. This is before Scary Movie and all that. Even some of the Monty Python movies haven't even been around yet. And this one really pushed the boundaries, and most of those movies wouldn't exist without this one. And this one was definitely one of the more raunchy comedies up there with Animal House and films like of that nature, the National Lampoon style type of films, Vacation and things like that. Really pushed the boundaries for comedy and what would be acceptable. And this one definitely, there's so much like sexual jokes and stuff in it, and stuff even now that would be considered inappropriate nowadays, but it still lands and still works really well in the film. I really enjoyed this movie, Airplane. I don't think there's any flaws with it. It is just hands down one of the most entertaining, funniest comedies ever made. So obviously I'm going to give Airplane a 5 out of 5. No complaints. It's just one of my favorites. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. There's a link down below like always. Also link down below is my Instagrams where I always post clips, films, and reviews in the future. All my stories have the film title hashtag and subject on film hashtag, so you're aware of it. And also my Letterbox is linked down below. Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. So follow me on one of those two platforms, saying look at this channel, like this video, share this with my people aware of it. Comment your opinions on the film down below if you have any. Also, if you have any other films or film franchises that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And also let me know if you want me to do the sequel to this too. I'll get around to doing that as well at some point. But if you want it sooner rather than later, let me know. And make sure you subscribe so if we find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out together. And also hear my opinions on popular films coming out at the time, classic films, somewhat like this, and reviews on other things as well. And make sure you ring that bell because we got another sort of like action comedy to dive into and talk about. Another favorite of mine, Beverly Hills Cop. So make sure you tune in for that. And watch out for all those crazy, silly pilots and crazy people running the airplanes up there. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.